On the 15th of May 2020, Japanese video game magazine Famitsu released the full written interview that they have with key developers on the NieR games, going over some awesome brand new information regarding the upcoming version of NieR Replicant. How's it going everyone? Tazen here. Today we're going to go over this awesome information. Firstly, going over why NieR Replicant, this version specifically, is called NieR Replicant version square root of 1.5. So the producer of the original NieR game, Yosuke Saito, revealed that he actually asked Yoko Taro to come up with a naming subtitle for this version of the game. Yoko Taro specifically came up with this name for two reasons, at least that he's given so far. First being that he didn't feel like the new additions were enough to call it a version 2. The second reason is something that he hasn't spoiled or given away yet, but rather just said it's to do with the setting of this game. So he said that it's not a deep reason we'd expect, but something where if we think about the setting in this game, it'd make sense to us. That's very cool and something I'm very excited to find out as we play through it. Again, there are going to be new additions to this game, so as to whether this pertains to specifically those new additions, which may be more than likely, it's going to be awesome to find out. Now, we still don't know, how much of the new additions may be things that are incorporated from already existing material for this NieR game that were told in supplementary material, like the audio drama, like the world guidebook known as Grimoire NieR, and so on. And then how much of the new material is stuff that we can't even yet conceive or even are aware of as to what direction those new bits of material will pertain to. So again, it's going to be very exciting regardless to discover that, whether that be before the game comes out or hopefully as we play the game. I'd love to discover that firsthand. I do have some ideas about just from the existing story, maybe what it could pertain to, specifically regarding to like some things for ending E and so on that was told in Grimoire NieR. But there's a myriad of possibilities and it's going to be cool to find it out. Segment of information was regarding the environment specifically. So it's being revealed that environmental atmosphere and the scale of environments have been improved in areas drawn by current generation technology, specifically the dusty atmosphere of the Sand Temple, the dampness of the Cliff Village, the cold weather, and the seemingly warm atmosphere of the garden make the graphics feel eerie. It's very awesome because any form of improvements to the environment and how the environments feel more realistic to like they would in real world settings really enhances our immersion into the game. That's something I loved about NieR Automata. The huge distinction between being something like the Forest Kingdom with all the foliage and going from short grass to deep grass and the enemies that were in those different parts of the areas compared to something like the desert where just feeling that sense of immersion when there's wind and you actually see all these grains of sand sort of fly past you, and even just the way you move through the sand, sometimes it felt heavier and slower than other parts. It was awesome. So to have the original game have any form of, improved immersion, even if it's just from the visual aspect in terms of how the atmosphere feels and even how the scale feels, it's going to be very exciting. Now, the third bit of information revealed to us was regarding the weapons. So Yosuke Saito revealed that the weapon stories will be included in this version of the game, and I'm very excited about that because weapon stories are somewhat quite pivotal in terms of telling parts of the stories of the NieR games, and something that NieR Automata did well. So for example, whenever you got a weapon and you strengthen the weapon, you get different paragraphs telling more and more about a story. And these weren't included in the original weapons for the first NieR game, but they were written and included in the Grimoire NieR World Guidebook. So to finally hear that we are actually going to get weapon stories in this game is fantastic. And it's also revealed that the weapon stories are going to be expanded upon as you strengthen weapons, much like NieR Automata, and new additional scenarios will be added. Now, this was written in the same sentence talking about the weapon stories, so it's possibly or hopefully suggesting that new stories or new scenarios are being added to the weapon stories, but at the same time, in terms of the translation, it wasn't also clear as to whether it was just more like comma and new scenarios are being added to the game in terms of other additional story bits. So that's something we'll hopefully hear about later on, or again discover as we play the game. But at the same time, given we never originally got the weapon stories in the first game and we've only got fan translations of the Japanese written parts for those weapon stories in the Grimoire NieR. We won't yet know until we find out maybe further direct information from them as to whether this is new weapons we're going to get new stories, or again, additional weapons may get extra levels, or it's just going to be extra content within the stories that were already written, you know, some time ago. Next bit of information we got is from Takahisa Taro, and it's just regarding his role in terms of improving the gameplay for this version of NieR. So we said his role in improving the gameplay is as an advisor to developers, but not as a developer of the gameplay himself. This is something that was sort of suggested from previous bits of information we've gotten, but now we've just got confirmation that again, he's not actually developing the actual gameplay, but rather again, providing more of a mentor and overseer input. And in any case, I'm happy no matter what, just to have him in any form, because seeing how amazing he made the gameplay in NieR Automata, especially compared to the original NieR, and then seeing his role as a director in Astral Chain was fantastic. And he wasn't part of the NieR series during the original version, so to see him, you know, help advise in ways that Toy Logic can improve the gameplay in a way that it feels more comfortable for players of NieR Automata, really fantastic. I'm very excited to finally, hopefully soon, see some gameplay footage of that. Can't wait. Next bit of information we received was from Keiichi Okabe, the composer. So he said that they're increasing the live performance part and re-recording Emil's songs and choruses to improve the quality. And he also said that newly recorded songs are being used for new parts of the game, which was expected, but fantastic that, you know, there are going to be entire songs recorded for new parts. But it's also just one little bit he noted, which just regarding everything going on in the world at the moment. This stuff has been affected in terms of recording the music and stuff, so more time will be taken in terms of getting that all done, but I'm excited nevertheless to hear them, because I just think all of his tracks and a lot of the tracks that Emmy Evans did vocally for the original game are just incredible. You know, I highly recommend getting those soundtracks if you ever come across them in any capacity, and for a good price. And hopefully we also get a new soundtrack, or maybe several new soundtracks for this upcoming version of NieR. Now, the last information we got from Yosuke Saito is hopefully one of, if not the most exciting part to me, and that is just regarding the upcoming release of the game. So he's emphasized that he doesn't know how it's going to go in regards to everything going on in the world at the moment, but he is hopeful that it will be released within the 10th anniversary of NieR, and he thinks the announcement about the game's release date can be made in the not too distant future. Further going on to saying that both this and NieR Reincarnation should hopefully be playable in the not too distant future. That's very exciting. It makes me wonder, you know, when do they start development on this version of NieR? With everything going on right now, to still hear that he's hopeful that they're going to be able to provide a release date soon. It's going to be released within this year from the announcement of the 10th anniversary, and then also maybe playable within the not too distant future. Very cool stuff. You know, we'll see. You know, I always wish to keep my expectations tempered without having the actual first-hand information from themselves. So, you know, I'll wait and see, and really specifically just wait until we see an actual gameplay or trailer with footage of this game, because I think it's then that we're really all going to really have something new to understand about the direction of this game, as opposed to currently where it's, besides a couple of screenshots and visually drawn art, it's really just paragraphs and stuff. So it'll be cool to finally see, hear, and discover the game through that visual side of things. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts below. It's very exciting nevertheless to get this information. I'm very hopeful for this new version here. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts below. I really hope you're all doing well and safe. Take good care with everything going on at the moment. And yeah, until next video, stay spot on.